There are moments in life when nature reminds us just how small we truly are. And when it happens during what should be a peaceful day of fishing, the terror feels even more real. They were reeling in what they thought was just another grouper when suddenly, the water beneath them erupted. A massive bull shark, easily 12 feet long, lunged out of the depths and bit their catch clean off the line, coming dangerously close to the boat. A group of fishermen were celebrating a big catch when a massive saltwater crocodile lunged out of the water and tried to climb into their boat. The jaws of this prehistoric beast snapped shut inches from a man's leg, leaving deep teeth marks in the side of the boat. But out of nowhere, an enormous great white shark, as big as the boat itself, launched out of the water and swallowed the tuna in a single bite. A group of anglers had their lines set when strange glowing eyes appeared just above the water. Thinking it was just a catfish, one of them shined a brighter light, and that's when dozens of crocodile eyes reflected back at them. They were completely surrounded, and the silence was broken only by the occasional splash as something moved closer. Moments later, the ice beneath them started cracking rapidly. A beluga whale had rammed the underside of the ice, drawn by the vibrations of their equipment. As the man tries to pull the fish away, the eel lunges out, grabbing his hand instead. The fisherman screams in pain as the eel refuses to let go, its teeth sinking deep. His friends frantically tried to free him, eventually prying the eel's jaws open. The camera captures the moment everyone runs in panic as the ice sheet fractures beneath their feet. Suddenly, a massive anaconda surfaced, slithering toward the boat. The sheer size of the snake is mind-blowing, its body as thick as a grown man's torso. Its massive black and white body burst from the hole with shocking speed, grabbing the fish off the line and disappearing. Its prehistoric, nightmarish face caused screams of fear and confusion among the crew. Its powerful jaws snapped shut so loudly that the sound alone is terrifying, and the footage shows just how close he came to losing fingers. The sound of cracking ice and the sight of that huge dorsal fin left the fishermen shaking uncontrollably. The video cuts outright as the snake brushes against the hull, leaving viewers wondering what happened next. Their dorsal fins cut through the water like knives, and at one point, one of the orcas nudged the kayak, sending it rocking dangerously. Its body was slimy, eyeless, and pale, with bioluminescent spots still faintly glowing. The creature launched itself onto the pier, flapping violently as the fishermen scrambled backwards in sheer terror. But moments later, something massive moved beneath the surface, cutting through the glowing water like a shadow from a horror movie. But when the creature surfaced, it was a massive, ancient-looking sawfish. The bear stared them down, uninterested in fish but fully aware of the humans. The standoff lasted an agonizing 2 minutes before the bear wandered off, but the video shows how close they came to disaster. As the fishermen struggled to unhook it, the sawfish thrashed violently, its saw-like snout nearly slicing into the boat's fiberglass. A group of fishermen were enjoying a sunny day when their sonar picked up something massive. If you love stories like this, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more terrifying real-life encounters caught on camera. Suddenly, the water around the boat started bubbling violently, and a colossal shadow rose from the depths. What emerged was a giant, unidentified sea creature far larger than any known whale or shark. The footage ends with the boat accelerating at full speed away, while the massive shape slips back beneath the waves, leaving behind a trail of bubbles and questions that may never be answered. The attack was so fast, some didn't even realize what was happening until they saw the giant reptile just feet away. Scientists later speculated it was a deep-sea creature dragged up from the ocean floor. The sheer force sent a massive shockwave, and the footage shows fish floating stunned to the surface. The panic in the man's voice as he scrambles to start his motor and get away is palpable. At first glance, it looks like a human child's hands. Known to be one of the most venomous creatures on Earth, sea snakes are curious but unpredictable. One snake brushed against his leg, and the footage shows the diver as panicked breathing as he tries to back away without triggering an attack. Upon closer inspection, they realize it's a species of deep-sea crab with appendages eerily resembling human limbs. The horror in the man's voice is real. The shark's mouth was wide open, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth, and the cameraman's hands were visibly shaking as the beast disappeared into the deep. Its translucent skin and glowing eyes had the crew freaking out, unsure if they had just discovered a new species or something straight out of a nightmare. The video ends with everyone scrambling to the opposite side, barely escaping with their lives. What makes it scarier is that just moments before, a massive tiger shark had been spotted circling nearby, meaning a capsize could have been catastrophic. The sheer force rocked their vessel, and you can hear them screaming as the shark circled, hungry for more. As he tried to remove the hook, the fish launched itself out of the water straight at his face. Its needle-sharp teeth grazed his arm, leaving a deep gash. The sheer aggression of the Barracuda caught on camera is enough to make anyone reconsider handling one without gloves. From monstrous sea creatures to mysterious shadows lurking beneath the water, these are the 30 scariest fishing encounters ever caught on camera. Off the coast of Japan, a man was bottom fishing when his sonar detected something massive beneath him, bigger than any fish he'd ever seen. Moments later, the water started swirling, and a shape resembling a giant squid surfaced. The camera shakes wildly as the fisherman falls backward into the mud, narrowly escaping what could have been a fatal injury from the stingray's barbed tail. The creature, with tentacles longer than the boat itself, hovered just below the surface before vanishing into the abyss. And trust me, number 17 will have you thinking twice before ever stepping foot near the water again. It all started with a group of friends fishing off the coast of Florida. Then there's the eerie footage from Alaska, where a man fishing alone on a misty morning noticed strange ripples near his kayak. At first, he thought it was just a curious seal, but when a shadow the size of a small car passed directly beneath him, he realized it was something far more sinister. They turned their camera and caught a massive alligator leaping out of the water to snatch a bird mid-flight, landing just feet from their tiny boat. The sheer violence and speed stunned both of them into silence. Realizing just how fragile their safety was in that moment, a giant Pacific octopus began wrapping its tentacles around the base of his kayak. His frantic paddling and shouting barely scared it off, and the footage shows how close he came to being pulled under. But nothing compares to what was captured off the coast of Australia. In Louisiana, a father and son were fishing in the bay when they heard loud splashing nearby. Another spine-chilling clip shows a deep-sea fisherman fighting to reel in a huge tuna. One of the most unsettling videos comes from a night fishing trip in Thailand. In the Caribbean, a fisherman accidentally hooked a barracuda. But the ocean holds more mysteries than just predators. Another terrifying moment occurred during ice fishing in Canada. A group of friends drilled a hole and dropped their line. In Florida, a man was fly fishing in shallow waters when a stingray the size of a car shot out of the water, missing his head by inches. One of the most viral fishing clips ever recorded shows a massive moray eel emerging from the rocks to steal a fisherman's catch. In the Amazon River, a local fisherman was casting nets when the water began bubbling violently. Then there's the footage from a deep-sea fishing expedition where a group reeled in a bizarre, alien-looking creature. In Hawaii, a family fishing near shore captured the moment a rogue wave surged in, nearly capsizing their boat. A particularly disturbing video from Russia shows a fisherman pulling up his line when a pair of disembodied doll-like hands floats to the surface. Back in Australia, a spear fisherman recorded the moment a group of sea snakes surrounded him. Near Norway, an angler ice fishing captured the moment a killer whale surfaced through the ice. One haunting video shows fishermen in South Africa pulling up what they thought was a normal net haul only to find a massive, dead-eyed goblin shark tangled in their lines. In Louisiana swamps, a fisherman's GoPro caught the moment a giant snapping turtle lunged at his hand. As he reached into the water, off the coast of Maine, a lobster fisherman pulled up a trap only to find something unexpected, a huge, unidentified carcass tangled in the ropes. In Indonesia, a man fishing from a pier suddenly found himself battling not a fish, but a massive manta ray. A kayak fisherman in California captured the chilling moment a pod of orcas surrounded his tiny vessel. In a clip from Florida, a fisherman caught the moment a lightning strike hit the water just yards from his boat. In Brazil, a group fishing from shore got more than they bargained for when a caiman charged out of the water, jaws wide open, forcing everyone to scatter. A deep-sea fisherman in New Zealand caught footage of a bizarre phenomenon, where thousands of tiny bioluminescent creatures lit up the ocean around his boat, creating an eerie, glowing blue sea. Near the Gulf of Mexico, a fisherman reeled in what he thought was a heavy grouper. In Alaska, another terrifying encounter was caught when a grizzly bear waded into the river just feet from a group of fly fishers. And finally, the #1 scariest fishing encounter ever caught on camera comes from the deep waters off Bermuda. If this didn't convince you that the ocean holds more nightmares than we ever imagined, maybe nothing will.